Good afternoon. Oneness Therapist Tomina Moon from England. I'd like to share again with you my favorite Galactic Heritage card by Lyssa Royal Holt. This book has such a wonderful message. And thank you to Jermaine, who is multidimensional not awareness, consciousness. Okay, let's read. Before that, I chose this card, number 88, Balanced Relationships. This is a card of Pleiadian, a future card when Pleiadian had a balanced relationships. Let's have a read. I feel still reading English is challenging for me, even though I've been living here so many years. Forgive my English if my English is very lavish. Okay, the challenges in human relationships happen from expectation. We expect our partners to become who we want them to be, rather than allowing them to be who they are naturally. Yes, actually, that's what happened to me too. This card suggests that it is time to take an honest look at the relationships in your life and your expectations. Can you be 100% present as a friend, family member, or partner without expectation? Or if expectation is placed on you, can you ignore that pressure and be your natural self anyway? This card points to a karmic pattern ready to be released, and this future Pleiadian energy can assist you. This card is connected to an evolved time stream of the Pleiadian civilization in which interpersonal relationships are fully balanced. On Earth, humans use relationships as their classroom in which they learn their toughest of lessons. Relationships are also used as a way to balance karma. But this means that relationships on Earth often contains a lot of pain and suffering. This is mostly because humans don't feel complete. They have expectation that their spouse, family member, or friend will fulfill a need that they are not feeling for themselves. In the new paradigm, that type of relationships cannot sustain itself because the human is acting from a place of need or lack rather than wholeness of joy. Evaluate the relationships in your life. Are they fully balanced in joy, or are they based on need, loneliness, low self-worth, or any other issues that need to be addressed within yourself before you can truly have a healthy relationships? It is time for serious self-evaluation. This card requires you to be very honest in your self-evaluation. If you see things that need to change, don't feel badly about it, but be grateful for the self-awareness that will help you make these changes. It's about relationships today. On this message, quite often, because of humans, blah, 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 humans acting from place of need on the earth, because this message is coming from Jamin, who is multi-dimensional consciousness, multi-dimensional consciousness. Therefore, written in this style. And what do you think about this message? The human relationships are used as their classroom in which they learn their toughest of lessons. Yes, can be true. I was recently making a self-story because I'm making my own project. So with that, I have to make my own story, where I was born and how I grew up, what kind of little girl I was, and then grown up, and then what did I do, sort of things, my own story. So the Japanese mom was asking what kind of little girl I was. And then I was remembering, yes, I was quite active person, but thinking many things that why the people are born, where do we come from, what's the purpose, and then after we die, where we go. This kind of things, even though I was little, I was thinking a lot. And then I grown up in very small island in Japan, and summertime I used to go to camping, and then in a dark night you kind of lie down on the field, and you see the skies and incredibly beautiful shining star. So many, you can even get it if you want to, such a close, and it is 180 degrees because on the hill nothing else, and I used to see stars and moons, and then thinking about, wow, you know, is there anyone living in there? This kind of like a dream child. But then, as I said, same time, I was thinking a lot about a life, the human life. And then after that, I grew up, and then I went to a different city to study more. I was studying children's education to be a teacher. And then I went to many different churches to ask about those questions. Where do we come from? And what's the purpose? And after we die, where we go? Nobody could really give me a perfect answer. And then finally I decided to study Bible, and I started studying Bible, and then I became Christian. I mean, I am believing in God because my mother comes from Shintoism, and then in Japan, Shintoism is it's not a religion, but my mother used to tell me there is a God in the river, there is a God in sky, there is a God in a water or a fire, everywhere, so that you never do anything wrong because God is watching you. So I was believing in God before I started studying Bible even, and I still do believe in God. And yes, what happened about relationship? Anyway, so that I was remembering when the Japanese man was asking me many questions. Well, even my life, one human on the earth, even my life had a lot of drama. And I was just surprised myself how my life was so complicated, and in a way, a lot of suffering from my point of view and pain from my point of view. Maybe those pains and sufferings cannot be compared to people who are maybe in North Korea starving to death, or people in different countries still in a war. Cannot compare. But for me, it was really like sometimes like a pain was like a killing myself like. So, but now I feel that's a very different way since I started getting messages from the universe, and then I started learning more about awakening of my consciousness deep inside, and all those things I learned, maybe I can say spirituality, and then I kind of changed myself. And one thing I really learned is how to look at myself objectively. I couldn't, because before I just thought that all those my emotions come from me, but actually the emotion you have is not you. It is a living emotions that you can separate from you. You are you, and then emotions are emotion. So that in a way, you can choose this emotion, or you don't have to choose this emotion to be controlled by those emotions. So that's I learned. So this message said, if you see things that need to change, don't feel badly about it, but be grateful for the self-awareness that will help you make these changes. So when I started learning this self-awareness and separate emotion and myself, then I can see objectively my own emotion. Then I started changing myself. This is very important point. So, although yes, as message said, human relationships are just like a lesson in classroom, and not only lesson but toughest lesson in classroom, but try to learn how to see yourself objectively and separate your emotion and yourself. Do not be controlled by those emotions and get into human drama. That I learned. Yes. So that is my message today. Not my message. It's a message from Jermaine to you. And how do you feel? And I hope you can learn, or you could learn something, and you are inspired by this message today. That's I hope. Thank you for listening until the end, and I see you next message. Bye bye. Thank you. Take care. Much love.